Hey everybody, it's Dave here with Orange 22 Fishing. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the best 5 snakehead baits that you must have in your arsenal going into 2022 and beyond, because these things will work in the spring, the summer, and the fall. Anytime that the snakehead are biting, these are the lures that you want to be throwing. So without any further ado, let's start off by talking about the first bait that you need to have tied on, and that is a hollow body frog. So right here in front of me, you see a few of my favorite hollow bodies, and frogs in general are something that you're going to throw on thick cover, whether it be duckweed or any other kind of vegetation like that. You're going to work it like you would for a bass. But when you set the hook on these snakehead, you got to wait a couple seconds to make sure they fully inhale that bait. But going into the specifics right here, this is my favorite walking style frog right here. This is a Snakehead Outlaws venom frog. It's got the shiny thing on the bottom there to draw in the snakehead. And they just absolutely love this thing. I've caught dozens and dozens of snakehead on this exact frog, and they're super durable. They're made for snakehead. So if you're looking for one particular frog, this is the one you want to try. But obviously there's so many options on the frog market when it comes to snakehead fishing, and the Teckle Honker right here in front of me is another great one. The legs clank together super loudly. I'm sure you guys can hear that. And you can either straight retrieve it, or you can work it like a walking style frog as well with twitches side to side. But I prefer the straight retrieve on this one. Good pretty much in every season of snakehead fishing, but it really excels in the summer. And then lastly, for frogs, you always want to have a popping frog. I found that these work in kind of shallow, narrow creeks here in Delaware specifically, but I'm sure that's the case elsewhere too. Anytime you throw this in the shadow of a tree or over some submerged vegetation or structure of any sort, a little popping frog can go a long way. Really effective in the spring, and it's definitely one that you want to have in your box. So frogs are definitely the most fun way to catch snakehead, and they are a lot of fun to collect too because there's so many different kinds. Oh, there's one on it. He's on it. Come on, eat it. Freaking eat it. Oh! We got him, baby. That was freaking sick. That was freaking sick. And it's a big one. So as you just saw, snakehead fishing with frogs is exhilarating. It's like that anytime you catch one, it just get your heart rate going, man, on that blow up. It's so much fun. But that brings us to our second essential snakehead lure of the day, and it's another topwater one. Another really fun way to catch them. Not quite as fun as the frog, but it's still a heck of a good time, and that is a buzzbait. So buzzbaits are something that you're gonna work around lily pads, right cruising along the outside of the pad lines, as well as on the edge of any other kind of vegetation. And these are really effective early in the morning and right before sunset especially. But seeing a snakehead blow up on these things is just crazy. A lot of times you can see the bubble trail behind it, and then they'll just come up and stalk it and blow up on it. But I just use a straight retrieve just enough to keep it above the surface of the water. And something that is a little bit of a hack when it comes to buzzbait fishing for snakeheads is having one with a clacker on there. That's that little piece right here, and it just adds some extra noise and commotion. These two snakehead buzzbaits right here are actually not even designed for snakehead. They're designed for bass, but they do hold up decently for snakehead, and they catch them really well. So this one is a War Eagle buzzbait. That's my favorite all-time buzzbait model. They just go crazy over these for whatever reason. And that one doesn't even have a clacker, but this one does, and that's a Booyah buzzbait. These are like $5 a piece, really cheap. And I think these are like 8, but you really can't go wrong with either one of these right here. So the third option of baits that I have here today that I'm featuring in this video is a popper. This is actually the bait that I caught my first ever snakehead on back in 2020. Just a live target little popper right there. And that's one of those cool ones that has like 3 different fish in there. It makes it look really cool coming through the water. But poppers are a really effective and underrated snakehead bait too, because not a lot of people use them, but it's kind of a secret weapon for me, especially if I'm fishing a creek. Like I said with the buzzbait, just going underneath some of those trees and stuff and coaxing them out of the cover by giving it really slow, deliberate pops on that popper right there. But let me show you guys some of my favorite brands of poppers to use and ones that are gonna not even fail you once when you're out on the water. The hookup ratios on these things are great. This is the Guggen Blooper. A solid option right there. Super loud rattle. Tremendous hooks on this thing, as you can see. But yeah, the Blooper is great. I love the black color, and the green really gets them going there too with the tail. And then this is actually the second snakehead I ever caught in my life was on this right here. So first one on this, second on that. This is an Arbogast hula popper. Things have been around absolutely forever, but they just wreck this thing right here. Especially at nighttime, like right before night. That is a serious bait to use. And then like I said, the live target one with the 3 fish in there, I think it's called a bait ball. Another super effective popper. These are my 3 favorite. You can't go wrong with any one of these. We have now covered the 3 top water options in today's video. Now let's go subsurface, going down beneath the vegetation, beneath the top of the water column, and into that mid-level where the snakeheads are just waiting for your bait to come swimming on by. So number 4 on the day is going to be our inline spinners. This one happens to be from Addiction Baits right here, and it's a inline toad really. It's got the 2 kickers on the back, and it's a pretty big bait. Great bait to use around any kind of vegetation, anywhere that snakeheads inhabit, especially on windier days. You want to get more commotion beneath the water column. This is a great bait to use. Around the spring, I really like to go with something a little smaller, a little bit more finesse, and this is a little rooster tail, 1/4 of an ounce. You can go bigger as well with these, and this one is a 1/2 of an ounce. Just slated for me this past spring in this fire tiger type of color. Great bait for big snakeheads, great bait for big pickerel, big bass, anything that lives together like that. They will all hit this, but the snakeheads in particular, tear them up. The final spinner bait that I really like to use is not really like one of those big bass spinner baits with the double willow blades or something like that. You know the ones I'm talking about. I'll flash a picture on the screen right now. It's actually another inline spinner just like this, or just like the toad one that I showed you guys right here, except it has a paddle tail swim bait on it, 4 inches long, and that is just a Guggen Saucy Swimmer right there. Again, the hardware here is made by Addiction Baits, but these are great in the spring and in the fall when you can't really get that topwater bite going. Really solid option to go to in your spillways, your moving water areas, and like I said, on windy days. And last but certainly not least is my favorite all-time subsurface option for snakeheads, and that is going to be the chatterbait. You really cannot go wrong when fishing chatterbaits. Just the vibration drives them absolutely insane. The kick of a paddle tail trailer, I absolutely love. Some people like using a fluke on the back as well, so that could be something that y'all could try too. But my favorite 2 chatterbait style baits to go to are the Z-Man Cross-Eye Z. I like it better than the original chatterbait. It has a better hook, and the pattern on the head right here, if you can see, it's actually like a cross-eyed pattern as the name implies, but it's got the weed guard on there, much better for bringing it through the thick stuff that snakeheads live in. And this thing right here has caught me many good fish. They especially love this red, I think it's Delta Craw color right there with a black flake in it. Super good option if you're going chatterbait. And then the Guggen clickbait, a lot of people have mixed feelings on this, but I absolutely love it for snakeheads and bowfin, because bowfin often inhabit the same areas that snakehead do, and if you guys want to catch them, this is a great option for them too. But we're talking about snakeheads today, and this is a fantastic snakehead bait. It's a little bit bigger profile, obviously, than the chatterbait. This one definitely looks much bigger because I have the trailer on this one, but this is going to catch you your bigger snakeheads this year. If you throw this thing consistently, below spillways, in ponds, in lakes, wherever your snakeheads are at, they will absolutely hammer this thing. Especially on cloudy days, I found that they really like chatterbaits. And same kind of deal as with the inline spinner. You throw this on your windy days too when the topwater bite isn't on, and a lot of times they'll be going for stuff like this. Hopefully you guys would have found this video informative today. I tried my best to drop some knowledge on you guys with my 5 favorite snakehead baits. If I didn't answer all your questions, please leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you and fill you in to the best of my ability. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Please leave me a thumbs up down below. Like I said, drop a comment. We'll have a little conversation down there, and hit that subscribe button for more fishing adventures. Normally I'm not doing these style of videos, so it was something a little bit different for me, but I hope you guys did like it. This spring we're going to be catching so many big snakeheads throughout the summer as well and into the fall, and I really can't wait for that snakehead bite to turn on. But until then, we're stuck doing videos like this. Anyways guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Take care, tight lines. Peace.